back to the channel. This week I wanted to take you into the studio and just change a drum head and actually tune it up. So I've taken one of my drums, come along for the ride, and we'll check things out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks again for watching.
Hi and welcome to the channel. Today I just wanted to take a few minutes and just go through tuning a snare drum. At the same time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the drum head on the snare drum and then mic it up and just let you hear how it sounds. So right now I've got my Yamaha Oak Custom drum here. It's a super snare drum, but what I want to do is I want to take the drum head off and just show you how to tune it, but also how to seat the head when you're putting it on, and some of the other steps that need to be done when you change your drum head. There are some things that you need that you might not think about. One of the things I always have when I'm changing the drum head is a towel, and I'll show you why I have that as well. Obviously, we need a drum key. This snare drum has got 10 lugs, so you can see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So these are what we're going to be undoing and taking off the drum head. This here actually is just to reduce some of the ring, and I've always used these when I'm playing in the studio or playing live. It just gives a little bit of a softer muffle. So I'm going to take that out. So first thing I want to do is I want to basically undo or loosen all of the lugs. I don't want to do it in a circle. I want to do it kind of in a star pattern because you don't want your hoop bending. And this is a triple flange hoop, so it's not as strong as a die cast hoop. So we start with loosening up the lugs. So I'm going to do this here, here, here. So these are really loose. You can see that it's starting to flap. Okay, so we got it pretty much loose. 2 more lugs. We're good. Okay, so this one here. And now I can take the rim off the drum. And you can see that everything looks okay. I'm going to use the rag just to clean the inside of the rim. So any dust or anything like that can come off that way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this aside, but I'll keep all the tuning keys in the holes, just saves time. Now, I don't have a new head, so all I'm going to do is just illustrate what I would do if I was changing the head up. So I'm taking this off. I'm going to be putting the new head on. You can see that there's some stretching in here already. See that? It's really ready to be changed, but unfortunately I forgot a drum head in for the studio today, so I'm just going to use this one. So now with the drum head off, I do have the snares off. I'm going to check the tuning on the bottom head, and I think that's pretty good, but there is some dust in here, and the other thing is, with the towel, I just want to give this thing a wipe. And the reason is if there's any imperfections or any dust in there, but I also like to run my fingers across the bearing edge, and the bearing edge is this part of the drum here, to make sure that the bearing edge is true and there's no pits, there's no divots, there's no dents, because it'll make it very difficult to tune, and I can see that it's okay. So I'm going to actually undo this. So I'm going to take the drum right off the stand, put the drum key down, and I'm just going to clean out the inside of the drum. So I'll take that off camera and just clean it off. So you can see some dust in there. So if I had a new drum head, this is where I would actually put it on. But I'm going to go through the same steps that I would go if I was putting a new drum head on. So let's put the drum head back on. I like to line up the logo with the badge on the drum. So let's make sure that's done. I want to make sure that the drum head is seated. So when I put the new drum head on, I want to make sure that the drum head is sitting on the bearing edge nice and evenly. So this is on, it looks good. A new drum head would be a lot flatter here, You may hear some cracking when you actually tighten it down, but in this case, this drum head has been used a bit. All I'm going to do here is just illustrate putting the rim back on and also tuning it up. So here's the rim. I put the rim on. Just kind of line it up so the tuning rods are in line with the lugs. And I'll go around and I will just hand tighten them up to begin with. When I'm putting these down, I'm just touching the top of the rim, not putting any pressure on these. Again, I'm doing kind of every other tuning rod so that the rim comes on evenly. That's not going to bend. Now at this point, if this was a new drum head, I'd really want to make sure that it's seated right. Now this is a used drum head, so it's going to seat along the bearing edge nicely, but I want to make sure that it's even all the way through. And if I was to press on the drum head, it's actually going to seat it. So it's going to make sure that it's all nice and even. So I would do this with the new drum head. So that done, I'm going to start just tightening up the lugs so that they're all at the same tightness. Before I start to tune it. Here, there's no tone to it. It's just like a cardboard flap piece of paper on top. Now we're going to start to tune it. So I want to make sure everything is relatively even. Same pressure on every lug. So in this point here, I'm going to do this. Just kind of tune it up like this, you know, so that I have it even. So if I start over here and do 1, 2, I'm going to come over here, do 1, 2. See it folding a bit. I'm going to go over here, do 1, 2. Over here, 1, 2. Now I'm going to go over here. It's very loose. 1, 2. And over here, which is probably very loose. Yep. 1, 2. And here, 1, 1, 1. Now we're going to start to get a tone. This is what I would do again at this point with the new drum head. I would reseat it. You would, with a new drum head, you probably hear some cracking right now because it's a brand new drum head. It's just working into the drum. Don't be alarmed when you hear that cracking. But this is a used drum head, so the cracking has already happened when I first put it on. So now I'm going to, you can hear the difference. It's just going to. Just want to get the same tightness. So we're starting to get the right adjustment, the right tightness in the tuning lugs. Depends on how you want your drum to sound. With a low tone, this is only a 5" by 14, so 5" deep, 14, which is your common size for a snare drum. But I like it a little higher, so I'm just going to do a little bit higher. So I'm just going to give it like a very, very smidgen of a turn. It's done. It's done. you notice I'm putting this in the middle. So I'm just kind of taking out some of the overtones by putting my finger there so I can isolate some of the rims and just see where it might need some adjustment. Very quick drum head change. Make some adjustments and then I'm going to put it in the kit.
So that's it. Basically changing a drum head, making it sound as good as you want it to sound. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe. Have a great drumming day. Questions, comments, please don't hesitate to send them my way. Have a great drumming week.